Don't Step in That Ecosystem by Courtney Duke. The next time you go out, take a careful look around. Maybe you see a small pond. Plants might be growing in the pond, birds might take baths in it, and if you're lucky, the pond might even be a home to tadpoles. Any place where plants and animals live and interact, work together, with non living things like air, water, and soil is called an ecosystem. The plants and animals in an ecosystem need each other to survive. It is important that there is a balance among all the things in an ecosystem. A small change in any part of an ecosystem can have a big effect. For example, if the food that an animal eats can no longer be found, then that animal will either die or have to leave that ecosystem. When that animal is no longer a part of the ecosystem, then the rest of the living and non living parts of the ecosystem are affected because all parts of the ecosystem depend on each other. All parts of the ecosystem are connected to each other. Think about an oak tree in the forest. It is home to the bugs and birds that live in its bark and branches, and to the squirrels who make their nests in its trunk. The oak tree also provides food to other animals in the ecosystem. When its acorns are ripe, they fall to their forest floor. These rich nuts are good for food for mice and deer that eat them to fatten up for the winter. Mice save the acorns so that they have food in the winter months, and in the spring, hawks swoop down looking for a mouse meal. In a way, the oak tree helps the hawk find its food. This is an example of how plants and animals in an ecosystem work together in order to survive. Now think of the ocean. Imagine diving into the deep blue water. Near the surface, you see a rocky ridge of coral called a coral reef. The reef is home to many plants and animals. For example, sea plants move back and forth in the current, and fish come to feed or to hide from other living things that can harm them. Coral reefs, in fact, are home to about 1/4 of all the fish in the sea. Reefs also attract birds, whales, turtles, and seals. The number and many different types of animals that depend upon coral reefs make them one of the most important ecosystems in the world. There are many different kinds of ecosystems, and they can be very small, like a pond, or very big, like a coral reef ecosystem. Ecosystems are everywhere. Ecosystem, an area where plants, animals, and other non living things live and depend on each other for survival. Sources used.